Recording in progress.
Hi, hello, welcome to the Oracle Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Blessing. I'll be your Oracle today. I was sent to I'm confused. Grant me a moment. Okay, we're back. I was a little confused because I was thinking about something else when the cards hit. Essentially, we're doing an Oracle Consularship, but something was talking from the Galactic Consularship. And the energy around that is that there's multiple planets kind of interacting in the sky. And my eye on the sky, or my little alert system, came through saying that there was like 4 or 5 planets conjuncting between like now and a couple few days from now. But when I look here, there's only 2 planets conjuncting, and one going to come in the next few days. So we'll have the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter conjuncting, and that's a manifestation. Like that's what it is. There's other things that can hit, but when the Sun conjuncts Mercury, when the Sun conjuncts Jupiter, something's going to hit, something's going to manifest. And that's another thing too. When the Sun's conjuncting Mercury, Jupiter, something's definitely going to hit. So that's what's in Cancer. Now we have a couple few things in Aries, mainly Neptune and Saturn, and we also have some other things interacting, but it's not significant enough. We're going to stay here in the Oracle Council. I'm not going to really switch what's going on, and I'm just going to leave this because you saw me shuffling. Pardon the explanation. I hope it was under a minute. If the video ever goes too long, you could, or if I'm speaking too slowly, because I do take pauses for downloads or narratives that I'm hearing with my clairaudience. You can increase the playback speed. It's somewhere in the player settings. You'll have to click through to the video. If you're on another platform, not every platform has increased video playback, but you can increase the speed up to twice as fast, which will reduce the length of the video. It won't say it, but it will in effect reduce the length of the video by 1/2, and that's again on the YouTube. We'll be imposing the guidance from This Might Hurt Tarot, Isabella Brotman, over at Liminal 11. That'll be to impose the guidance. As I said, if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. It's a delight and a privilege and an honor to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything resonates deeply with you, you are encouraged to like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. There is also, besides the option to increase the playback speed, in the show notes or the about section or the description box, there will be Hamza hands. If there is a summary of the video, which there usually is, oftentimes is, not always though, there'll be between the Hamza hands a link to a summary. We have the Chariot, the Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, King of Swords. Again, Chariot, Four of Swords, King of Wands. Oh, excuse me. Chariot, Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, King of Swords. Chariot, Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, King of Swords. Chariot, Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, King of Swords. That'll be the overall core crystallized central energy. We will lay other cards which will clarify or modify the reading, but these are the central themes here. For instance, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of pairing energy from the minor arcana of This Might Hurt Tarot. It's Lillian Lazenby over at Ripe Avocado. And then for any type of correlative or corresponding energy, we'll be using the Veda Sibila daily oracle from Los Scarabeo, again, to deliberate the findings for any type of correlative corresponding energy. If union comes in, we'll add an additional deck, and I'll talk about it then and there. Four of Swords with the King of Swords means wanting respite, wanting repose, wanting some type of recuperation, resuscitation. It also can be hearing a court. This is an adjudicator, somebody that renders judgment at some type of official court. Four of Swords. And this is a technical skill, pushing through obstacles with technical skill. This obstacles would be something of a karmic lesson, 10 of Wands. Now there's other meanings here, but we're gonna get right into it since I spent a few minutes at the beginning explaining. There is a mystery school. You'll need to explore the channel. Somewhere in the community section, there'll be links to, or on the channel page, there's a link to Mystery School of Sacred Arts and Devotional Practices. That's where I teach other things. There's an enrollment, and there's also a freemium version where I offer things to the public for no cost. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands, the Three of Wands, Death, and the Wheel of Fortune. Death and the Wheel of Fortune is a windfall. Eight of Wands, Three of Wands means that something is accelerating, it's coming in, it's approaching. We're going on a transition here, and we're coming out of some type of karmic cycle with this death and the Ten of Wands. And this happened a few days ago, where we're making a transition, things are getting started, things are speeding up. We're coming out of some type of karmic cycle. I'm literally hearing we might have even taken on debt or taken on some kind of burden obligation. But we're the golden child here with this Page of Wands. So things are speeding up, accelerating with this Eight of Wands, Page of Wands. That means feeling expansive. And it is going to broaden our horizons here. Chariot with the, I'm hearing Strigere Benedetti, the Etruscan, which is the ancient Roman, which basically means that there might be some kind of brujeria, curanderia, some type of Strigere Benedetti, some type of abracadabra, Santaria, something like that. But I was hearing mondo, which is the world or the universe, okay? So with the world card and the chariot, it means broadening one's horizons. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Star card, it means timeline restoration, okay? The Nine of Pentacles and this world card typically brings in goddess energy that usually is Adi Parashakti, Mahadevi, Lalita, you know, Tripuri Sundari, the goddess of the three worlds. It can very much just be, we are definitely in charge of our own Shakti. We have a few goddess paths here. The path of the Great Mother, which is the world card, and then the specific mother that we're doing right now. If you follow Hindu, it would be Aritima, Saraswati Aritima. It could be in like Egyptian, it's Isis, Sumerian, Inanna. It's the queen of the universe. We're nestled in her womb. Her womb is the cradle of creation, not just civilization. So it's basically like Astrea, the goddess of the stars, that kind of energy. And it's saying that we conjure something in, it's coming already. It's already started. It happened a few days ago where the spark hit. Three of Wands. Now we have Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, Eight of Swords, Three of Pentacles. Okay, so we have a pair of threes and a pair of eights, and they're matching. And that happened in the last reading as well. We had a pair of threes and eights and three different suits, and then the corresponding knights came and they all matched. So it happened here again. The Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles means learning and teaching, planning and structuring. Three of Wands. Eight of Wands means we were planning something, it started to happen, and then it's sped up and it's actually happening. It's coordinating, it's kicking off little bits and pieces of results. The time is now, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. I did make a mistake, my dear. I thought that the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles came out. In fact, it was the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords. So firstly, listen, when that happens, it's our mind's eye is seeing, and then the reality sets in. It's like we see through the veil for a moment. Okay, so we do have some kind of Strigeti Benedetti, you have some kind of Santaria Brujaria, something like that, okay? Because a pair of eights, two or more eights, can mean spell work. I would look for other things. Is there a Queen of Wands in and of itself? That's fine, but it coming out with a pair of eights or the moon or the devil, it might mean some things. We have the High Priestess here. So this is telling me that something is trying to hijack our energetic field. I don't know what this is yet. It is another being, but they're not clear. So until then, I won't speak to it. There is an energy, entity, ideology, perhaps an enemy that is trying to hijack our field. What they want to do is contain something, create some banners and standards, or create some little hook or parasite in the energetic field or in the cord or in the flame where there's some energy, entity, ideology, there's some activity that we need to yield to their authority. It's already been refused. Queen of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, that's needing Queen collaboration or planning. Three of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords, Eight of Swords. So that is needing somebody to yield to another person's authority, needing or wanting boundary standards, wanting rules, regulations, restrictions. We might want to wrangle something down, to bring something to an arrest. And if we were dealing with another energy, entity, ideology, this is buckling under the weight of its own karmic causes. It could be it could be a they, whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. As it is, though, Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands, as I said, is feeling expansive. Page of Wands, 10 of Wands is feeling burden. That burden's being set down. Page of Wands, Three of Wands, that's actually feeling open, feeling clear, feeling like we've gained access or permission or consent in some way. With the Star card, that means there's a calling on our life. And this High Priestess coming out after the Three of Pentacles, we're going to spend a few months working something out. And whatever this working something out is, we're getting on the path towards our spirit, karma, life, path, destiny, the calling on our life, Star card. It's our destiny, essentially. With the Wheel of Fortune, bam, there you go. And it's some kind of timeline restoration. Now, there was some truth, some cunning, some strategy we needed to figure out. Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, they don't look so good. With the Nine of Swords and the High Priestess, it says that somebody desires to be sneaky, to move in secret, or to move sideways, or whatever. But it can't be moving in secret. I want to get out Jerry Springer chicken neck, but not yet. Although we have a second seven with the Magician here, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords. That's suspect to me, baby. That's suspect to me. But really, what this is we're going to have to keep our head down and work some things out. So we're going from this moving on, moving forward, or preparing to move on and move forward. And it's really, we're needing some type of stability, some type of security with the Queen of Pentacles. And we do have a triple three here, all the same. Three of Cups, Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles. So instead of it being a double, a pair of threes, it's a triple. So a triple is a little bit different than the double, especially in the presence of the Three of Pentacles. It's no longer cooperation, collaboration, co-creation. It now turns into cliques, covens, and cabals. I just suspect, my dear, that there's a bunch of the language that I'm getting is not particularly pleasant. I feel like somebody's grandma is here. That would be the Eight of Swords, or the Queen of Swords is always grandmother energy. Okay, so also like a paternal uncle. Oh, I was gonna say maternal, but paternal came out, and it's both. Seven of Cups and Seven of Swords. It's both. Um, so our ancestors are on this. So there's some faction out there, some little chickadee, some little gossipina, some little, Jezebella, Carmela, whatever, what have you, some little former karmic lesson out there right now with their eyes focusing on us. They know more about us than we know about ourselves, at least in respect to our gifts and what we're capable of. I bet you they believe that we're capable of a lot more than we believe that we're capable of. I would venture to guess that we've held ourselves back slightly, sort of, pseudo, kind of, almost, but not really. That they're more scared of what we can do than we are capable of believing in what we could do. That's what this is. And out there, whatever, they got them eyes on us. Seven of Cups, somebody's looking at us. Seven of Swords, that's a spy. With any page in the Seven of Swords, it's not that they're spying with intent to harm, because the Page of Swords is not out. That they're monitoring us in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. We got eyes on us, and that we're the type of energy, entity, ideology that when they come up against us, when they enter into our frequency, energy, vibration, they don't know what to do. They get shook, they get scared, they quibble quabble in their little bootsies. That's right, they scared. And it's fine. Peace be upon you, blessings to your healing and awakening. What it is, though, is that there was some kind of energetic conflict, because we are receiving favor, Six of Pentacles, but it might have initially been some kind of breadcrumbing because they felt some kind of way, they wanted some kind of thing, and they didn't really get it. So there was drip, drop, dibble, dabble, because manipulation is in a pair of eights. It could also be spell work, or it could be lessons learned from time and indulgences. Spending a lot of time, energy, effort, and attention in a place or space taught us a couple few things. A pair of sevens talks about we gained some kind of wisdom out of that energy spent in a time served in some kind of environment, surrounding location. Pair of sevens, wisdom or alert, alarm. Pair of eights, spell work or manipulation. Basically, it says time and indulgences brought some kind of wisdom to the forefront, and we're learning it and integrating it with the High Priestess and this Chariot here. Definitely so with the World card. That's doors within doors, windows and windows. It's moving through our entire timeline in a positive, exalted, gracious influence, as evidenced by the High Priestess and the World card. So as we gain this favor, Six of Pentacles, we needed to do a couple of few things, mainly ask, and also go through some hardship that we've completely worked through already. We've gained a couple of few things, mainly a plan, and we're starting to work that out. So we've gained witness and testimony here. Our prayer has been heard and is being worked out so that it could be granted. And something was granted already with the Star card. However, it's hovering in the ethers. It might not have anchored down into the physical. What anchored down into the physical was that we need to do some work. A lot of energy, a lot of entity, a lot of ideology is going to come right to the threshold, right to the precipice, right in front of us. It's going to appear in court and air their petition, and we get to, sustain or overrule. Essentially, some motions are going to carry and some are going to be denied, because now we've been put in a position of judgment. We get to execute judgment over our life, over our domain, whatever, what have you, because we're moving forward towards some cunning strategy tactic. And the thing that we were told to utilize is to move in secret. Knight of Swords, Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is coming from the High Priestess, moving to the Magician. So we're working something out behind the scenes. Nobody needs to know about it. Nobody needs to be up on what's up. We need to handle that in secret. We need to move in secret. We need to not be sideways, sneaky, seditious, trifling, treacherous, and treasonous, but we do need to move in secret. I mean, repeat, my dear, we do need to move in secret, okay? That's what's up. So let's handle up on this and see what's going on. I want to see what this high priestess in the Seven of Swords is talking about. Okay, because we found something out in the toil and trouble and the struggle. Something kind of came through, pulled through. And what it was a solution. Because we had somebody that probably dug in a way that it was killing everything. Their energy was staying place. It wasn't going to work. And see, we were never going to say no, goodbye, bye, get out of here, because they hadn't overtly, excuse me, perdón. They hadn't overtly, excuse me, they hadn't overtly done the nasty. But there was energy coming our way, and it was having some kind of effect. Melancholia, for a long time, our maturation was delayed. Melancholia, multiple, a cascading cacophony of delays, compounding karma, 10 of wands. That's cascading cacophonies of compounding karma, crazy, the loco, the lulus, the stupid, the dumb. It was all kind of hitting hard at the same time. It was like some kind of karmic vectoring. But part of that was ego. We needed to put something down, let something go. It wasn't easy because we come hard, come harder. We stay 10 toes down. We loyal as F. And that's just what's up. The thing is that sometimes we need to recognize that the places that we're holding out in, we don't need to. We can take that beautiful heart and apply it to somewhere that's really going to pay off. The thing is that we were giving to things that weren't giving to us. We were trying to take people or energies to the top that didn't want to see us at the top. They were waiting for their chance as they were riding our coattails to usurp, to steal, to ilardo, be a thief in the night. Tell me, what is this star card with the Wheel of Fortune? Because this is saying that there's some kind of timeline restoration here. So a dream that we had way back when came back through and said, hey, yo, it's time to work on me. And what it's saying is get the things in order. King and Queen of Diamonds here, Maritata Mercante. It's nurture something that, stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready, is essentially what this is saying. Boop, boop, boop. Stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. Because look, boop. He has all his little ducks in a row. He has all his money at his feet. That's what's up. So it's not something that we've already thought about. We already put some thoughts into it. But even more than that, it's ready. It's not time to get ready and stay ready. The Vecchia Signora is saying, like, this is something from an old time in your life when you were Banchula, inexperienced. Now you got all that experience. Now it's season, and it's time to show out, or it will be time to show out soon. Move in secret, secure your position, and then when it's up, let it be stuck. Because I was looking at this Nine of Pentacles. It goes with the High Priestess and the World card. Yeah, so imbue ourselves with richness and worth, and then we could share, but it might not be about sharing. We might need to let it share, whatever. Because there is an energy, entity, ideology out there that would prefer us to stay where we are. Now, it's not always bad. Sometimes people just don't want to see us move on, move forward, because that means we're leaving them behind. But then that also is suspect. But other hoes, excuse my language, other people that want to fight emotionally, that's why I use that word. You know, other folks, it's a little bit more nasty. It's a little bit more precarious, that association, and we shouldn't be tending to something that's that unsafe. Like I said, some people just don't want to see us move on, move forward. But there's worth that we've always had, and it was easier for them to support us when we were always crying about some failed or dashed hope, wish, dream, aspiration. But it's their stank face energy. Is, you know, because we're loyal. we work on things. We try to move things along. We try to progress the situation. We try to help it out. But really, we needed to discover that these were people that if they found out what we were working on, they dashed our hopes and dreams. Period, point blank in the story. They're always going to be the same, domestical. It's not that they're bad. It's not that they don't have utility, but they have utility for a certain reason, and they're not going to expand out of that. I want to know what this King of Swords, Eight of Swords is, because it's saying that either we need to establish values and standards, we need to implore people to heal, like to heed our authority or to bring them under some type of authority. We need to lean into our system because this is arraignment here. I'm just going to say, with the Eight of Swords, the Four Swords, that is arraignment. Something here trespassed. And it's not us. It's not our side. Seven of Swords, the trespass. And then it just got cloudy outside. It's like the sky darkened for a moment when I said that. Because I opened up to La Nimica, but that's not in his hand. The enemy, that's the one you let in, they're going to hurt you emotionally. Something needs to be put to bed because we're servicing something that's already dead. And so what is the High Priestess and the Star card? Yeah, our hopes and dreams keep getting dashed because there's this depressive energy, there's distress. And they're always going to be some kind of problem. They probably have some kind of monitoring spirit attached to them. I would not be surprised. Because it's saying there's a change in our destiny here, and it might, it's away from this individual. Yeah, they're part of the cackle of geese, the gaggle of geese. We can't give them not know nothing. Regardless if we like it or not, this person's probably talking about us behind our back. Three of Cups here. We have a 333, clicks, covens, cabals. This person keeps our name in the, yeah, La Falsita. There's a racket going on right in front of us. We can't see it. But see, what they want to do is bring us down a peg. We think we're too good or whatever, but all we're doing is striving. All we're doing is trying to improve our circumstances. All we're doing is following our heart's calling, our soul's ambition, our heart's desires, and they want to say some smack. We're looking for love. We're looking for lovers. We're looking for open roads, not roadblocks, not obstacles, not haterade, not love, hate, not no frenemy. They don't get it. That's fine, boo. You stay over there in the corner. Because we're going to handle up on something, they're going to be mad. They're going to be big mad because we're starting to improve our station, work on some ish. You know what? Peace be upon you. Peace out. That's what it is. They're always going to come back with some stupid, I don't know what to say. This is not getting pleasant. Okay, so let's move on. What is this 333 about? Oop, wrong deck. From the other side. Yeah, so they're going to try really hard to do something, and I don't know what this is. Because it's entitlement or evil eye is what that is. They're looking at us mean mugging. I started listening to a podcast today, and they were reading letters about, am I the asshat? Am I the Delulu here because I executed this boundary for myself, and this little other side is going on, going hard, going heavy about, quabbling and quibbling and yelling and yodeling and whining and wailing about the decisions I made for me and myself, the decisions I made for me and my life, the circumstances that I'm navigating through in me and my own self. Am I the Delulu friend here because I'm not copping to their feelings, copping to their emotions, dipping down into the little narrative? And every single time the podcaster was like, no, you're not the Delulu one here. It's them. And it was always something about like the person was just increasing whatever they've been working on. And it may seem like it happened overnight, but you discover that they've been saving for 10 years. They've been sacrificing this kind of way or that kind of way, or they have been dealing with this unknown, unseen problem. And then they had to come up, or the glow up, or the boss up, or the handle up, or the level up, or the G up, or the whatever, or the what have you. And their other little friend, their other little rinky-dink, their other little crab in the barrel, their other little bottom of the bucket wild out. And basically it's haterade, it's evil eye, it's entitlement, because we're in a situationship here where the other side is not on the same page to a sorts. They're not on the same page. What it is actually is that they look at us as the golden whatever, and they have the beginning of some type of ego or entitlement, and they think things need to be fair. That if we do something, they should be able to do something. They don't. So basically, it's better if we stay stuck because they're not going to do the work to get to where we're doing. People see the come up, but they don't see all the work that it takes to have the come up. So what's this pair of sevens, please? So we might have some type of agreement, karmic agreement, or they may be from the same kind of origin story, whether it's hometown or have a past history together. Because they want our love, but they don't want to respect us or something like that is what this is saying. We'll have a little more in a quick second here. Okay, and then also somebody here has some kind of misaligned or misguided attraction or something of that nature. Because at the very least, they're riding our coattails. They want to gain access to whatever we have or we're working on. Or they want to block it. And ultimately, they wish they were us, period, because we're working through things, but they're burdened. 10 of Wands. We're working through things. 2 of Pentacles. That's attending to a situation, working things out, handling up on things. I'm looking at this pair of eights now, and then another 8 came out. So that's somebody that has a replica or a facade of our energy in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. They actually are doing altar work. Somebody here is doing altar work. 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, altar work. It's to bind or to block, triangulate. And they are going around a double 3. They are going around talking about us here because we're working things out and the Lord is blessing us, but we are finally doing the thing we're supposed to do. With the 4 of Wands, it means that there's some kind of cosmically, divinely ordained pulpit or platform or throne even. That's everything. Let's check on this 10 of Wands with the World card. So that's Saturn. We went through a cycle that really took it out of us, and so we're healed. Now we're dealing with a lot of new. And so we're bright eyed and bushy tailed again. Fanchula, the virgin, doesn't mean chaste, it could mean inexperienced. And now there's a gaggle of geese out there, chickadees clucking like chickens, just mean mugging and smack talking. Because we found the access to goodies and we're thinking about how to increase. We're thinking about how to walk into plenty and somebody feels some kind of way. I want to know what this Chariot and the 3 of Pentacles is because we're not going to navigate other people. This came out in reverse though. So this is normally Alegría Cuore, it's the joy of the heart. These are people we used to be joyful around, but they're looking at us saying like, why you get in the bag? And I'm not. La Nimica, they actually have an emotional, a resentment in their heart. We've discovered something and everybody else is talking about it, but they're not doing about it. They're talking about it. That's, you know what? This has been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Some darkness is coming out. That's what this reading was about. Because we're moving deeper into the light. Our heart is opening, our soul is expanding, our timeline is being restored. We're getting a second chance because we're finding redemption and salvation in this life. And something out there thinks that they need to wrangle us down or rein us in because we're getting too high for our britches. But they don't know that we've been painstaking behind the scenes to build our britches up. And that the divine itself has ordained this glow up. they just don't know how we got it. And they're not coming at us in the kind of way where we're going to take the time, energy, effort, attention to explain. We're just going to move out their way because they're moving how they're moving. And they're showing us a lot. They're saying a lot because they're doing a lot. That's what this is. So we're not going to ask a lot more questions. We're not going to give a lot more explanations. We're just going to disappear. We're going to vacate the premises. We're going to exit the group chat. We're going to unfriend, unfollow, unmatch. And we're not going to give a second thought about it because what is this? People can move sideways, sneaky sideways, seditious sideways, and stupid. They could be trifling and treasonous and treacherous, but they could do that with somebody else, not with our little precious heart, not with our little divine soul. That's what I'm getting. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Just a quick prayer, my dear, for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion. Lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional love, and universal oneness. We ask that our steps be ordered, our path be illuminated, and that we find salvation and redemption in this life. May we all be healthy, may we all be well, may we all be at peace, may we all receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, Dhanava, and Ashe, sayonara, das vidanya, avida. Go ahead and smash that like button. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.